Hi, Marie.
Hello.
I'm called Magma Core Foundation. I was still logged into the account and I was like, oh no, oh well. Hey, Andy.
Hello.
Hi, Pravin.
Hey, hi Mari.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so I figure let's go ahead and get started. I figured out how to follow a Zoom link and use the password, so success. Let me pull up the meeting notes and share my screen. So yeah, I think Scott messaged the TSC chat, but he's out today with the with his second shot. But we have enough. We have 4, so we're all good. Okay, so well, crap. So Scott's not here. This we can push to next week. That's fine. Okay, so for this, I think I have talked to everyone individually, but just for full context, we for a little while we've been going with not having a particular chair for the TSC, and we have sort of considered the idea of switching up that model and going with the more common model of having a particular chair, partially just because I've been, I think the set of us have been putting in time, and then I in particular have been trying to help drive the meetings and stuff like that, and so anyways, I'm hoping that we could take a vote today, if everyone's on board to go ahead and have me be the official particular TSC chair. And then Gail, if you are could
I'm
talk
here.
to a little bit. Are you familiar with? Is that for a period, for a specific period of time? Is it a year? Is it something like that, or is it less?
So I'll check our charter, but it's usually like when projects are first stood up, that's not like built in, but a kind of a good general practice is about a year.
Gotcha.
Especially when we're new, that way you can kind of see like what the workload is. Like as projects mature, they'll end up doing 2 years. Like, CNCF and CDF have 2-year terms, but they've been around for CNCF's been around for a long time. But when
Yeah.
it's new, it's good so you can kind of get a feeling of like how much time is it? What's the workload? But so you're not overcommitting. If
Yeah.
you so a year is good. We can do it like if you want to align it to the calendar year, we can say, okay, for the remainder of the year, or you can say for 12 months, and then we'll have just a reminder for ourselves to do the election for, same time next year.
Yeah,
The,
I think
the
shorter is
charter,
probably better.
Gail, Hunter, the charter language around the chair says a term of 1 year or until your resignation.
Perfect.
Okay. Yeah, so I think let's I think it makes sense to do shorter since this is like well, yeah. I would say that it would make sense to do a shorter amount of time and just do through the calendar year, but if that would require us to edit the charter, then we
It
don't have
doesn't.
to, but
We
okay,
can just,
yeah,
we can do it that way. That way you're not like overcommitting a person without full knowledge of what the breadth
cool.
and scope of work is. It's just kind
Yeah,
of a
just to
polite.
keep things agile. Okay, so yep, I think that works. Do we want to have any additional? I intended to cover feedback from individuals in our one-on-ones, but if we want to have any feedback brought up for general discussion, we can do that now, and then we can go for a vote. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and take a vote then.
So who's interested in nominating or another? Is anyone interested in nominating anyone else? We just have self-nomination interests.
Yes,
Oh, so yeah. Go ahead, Marie.
Hunter is probably a good nomination, just because he's been basically doing chair work for a while now.
Yeah. Do we have a second to nominate Hunter?
Yes,
Okay.
I also nominate Hunter.
Okay. So I'll just the way we normally do verbal votes, we kind of do. I'll walk you through it. It's pretty straightforward, just a tiny bit awkward. So all in favor of appointing Hunter as your TSC chair, please say aye.
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 And
I guess.
that's good. Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstains? Congratulations, Hunter! Yay!
All right, thanks you guys. Cool. So now that we have that, Gail, is there anything in particular that we need to do on that topic to follow up, or
we will. We can do like a little. I can send an announcement to the Slack channel. Excuse me. We don't have a ton of people on the mailing list yet, but I'll just go ahead and add it there as well. And then we'll update like the GitHub info with that too.
Great. Sounds good. Okay, so then next on the agenda, on that topic, something that I'd been thinking about is it might make sense. When I was chatting with Amar and he was talking about having like a monthly digest was something that he wanted the TAC to be doing, where it's sort of like more external focused and publicizing and abstract, like what is Magma, what is it, what features are we adding. I think it might also make sense, and this is something that I would be down to take on as part of like this official role, writing monthly digests for the TSC that are more internal facing, that are more like, okay, if you haven't been following, but you're a dev in the community or on the team, what's the set of things that we have accomplished in the last month? What are we working on for the next month? And what are we looking for sort of open-ended input on for stuff that's not like immediately we're looking, because some things we want immediate input, some things we just, it would be nice to get general feedback. So I'm thinking about trialing that sometime this month, but if anybody has any input or feedback on that idea or any particulars of it. All right, sounds good. So then, yeah, this last bit is mostly a Scott stuff, but Marie, if you want to give us an update on the approvers teams,
Yes.
how's that feeling? Have we hit any road bumps?
No, not quite yet. So I created all the teams. Thank you, Hunter, for adding them to the maintainers like parent team. I'll try to migrate a few at a time just to prevent any hiccups. The only hiccup that I anticipate will be the renaming of orchestrator and FEG approval teams, because once I rename the team, unless everyone rebases onto master, we may, get some weird directions, like team and whatever. So
I had a thought on that. Is it possible to do like a 2-phase? Like we have the, FEG approvers first, and then we have both like FEG approvers and approvers FEG, like, and then we switch to the latter. Will that break anything if we have a code owner line that references a team that doesn't exist?
yeah, so it wouldn't break anything, I think. I did think about just creating another team, as opposed to renaming. I wasn't sure if that was that much like worth the trouble. Like I was just going to make an announcement for everyone to rebase.
Yeah.
Since we don't have
fine.
that many active, well, we definitely don't have active like external contributors for FEG, and then for orchestrator, I also figured if just like a quick announcement would be fine.
Yeah, I think and we probably don't have very many open PRs either for those.
Yeah.
In particular, so
I'll
yeah,
just,
I think that's fine.
I'll just make an announcement on the announcement chat, and then I can just go through all the PRs that currently have, pending PRs by orchestrator FEG team, and just comment and ask them to rebase.
Cool. Sounds good. Let's see. Yep. So that's all for this then. I think Scott will probably want to talk about maybe some of the other metrics. But for now, I think the main thing that I am in kind of viewing as like the principal item for this is the approvers teams, because I feel like at least for the trial run teams, that was super helpful. So excited for that. Okay, the one last topic I wanted to bring up, and then we can open for input if there's any general topics that people want to bring up, is Gail, can you talk us through a little bit of the like this meeting being open now? Like is it officially open, or can non-TSC / not the normal set of people that join, can general community members join?
Yeah, so it's on the calendar so everyone can join. I would also, and I didn't do this yet because I wanted to talk to you guys about it first, so thank you for bringing it up. It would be helpful to have a comm out, so probably from you, Hunter, since you're kind of acting as a chair here now, like to, hey everyone, the meetings are open, we welcome you to join, this is how we do the agenda, and that kind of thing. I expect you might have a slow attendance in the beginning, but
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can just kind of start opening up the conversations, and like you guys said before, if it starts taking more time, we can always make them longer or change it up as you'd like to. But so yeah, it's open so anyone can join. I would just recommend letting everyone know that proactively, that they're invited to join and welcome to. And then I think Kendall is going to add it to the website as well. I don't think it's there yet, but she's going to add the info there.
Awesome. Okay, so then I think we made some good time today. We didn't have any major topics that we need to do a lot of discussion on. So given that we have about 15 minutes left, is there anything like general topics that people wanted to bring up that we can discuss, and then after that we can potentially end a little early.
Just one heads up that I have is I am trying to work on some guidelines around like reacting towards CI breakage, or like, you know, like when master is broken, like how do we know master is broken? Like what steps do we take? That kind of stuff. So hopefully my goal has been to like fix this, but there's been other things. So I'll try to get some like GitHub issue up with some guidelines maybe Wednesday. That'll be my goal. So just a heads up.
Okay. Do you have, what in particular did you have in mind? Because is it like, were you in that chat we were talking about, like the hybrid approach to, you know, if something's breaking master and we can easily revoke it? Is that what you had in mind for this?
Yeah, so just
I thought it was already in place. That we were Git reverting a commit that were failing the post-merge CI.
Yeah, so we can already revert changes. We just don't have like any guidelines around like when we should.
Oh, okay.
And you know, if master is really broken and we can't easily revert by reverting commits, like we should have some guidelines set on like blocking master until it's fixed. And like my slight struggle is just like defining, you know, how to tell when CI is broken on master, just because we have so many, you know, flaky checks. So I think once I can just figure that out, it should be pretty straightforward.
I think for that, like, because like you said, because we have a lot of flaky tests and we have a lot of flaky tests that take a long time to run. I think at this point and for the near future, deciding whether master is broken has to be a manual process. Like we can get automated inputs, but actually making the decision has to be manual. So I think it's more about like deciding which set of people are the people that get to make that decision. And it's like a trade-off between like, do we have a sufficient number of people agreeing versus like how quickly can we pivot on the decision. But yeah, I think the shape of the solution seems appropriate. So
I think we would need to have a dashboard saying, to analyze the status of master, in fact, and every commit. I think the dashboard will be certainly, at least at the beginning, a tool for the human decision, but at some point it might become the tool to make the decision. That's what we need to look at.
Definitely something to consider with like Tim and like, you know, the new CI, because currently everything is kind of split up and going forwards during the migration, it will be harder too. So we'll see.
I don't think that a dashboard should be blocking to this.
I don't think so. This. Yeah, but it would be nice.
But yeah, I do think it can be something that we can add as like a desirable, because right now it seems to me that the way we figure out if things are broken, it's just like, are we getting successive CI messages to the CI channel that like this particular thing is broken, and like after a while it's like, okay, you know, CWAG deploy clearly broken or whatever. So I think that especially for like especially for the case of actually blocking master, I think that that's sufficient, where it's like, okay, it's become abundantly clear that this is broken. But for like more forward future looking is like actually actively reverting a commit, I think we would, automatically reverting a commit, I think we would want some sort of dashboard. But yeah, for now, since we're trying to do things manually, I think it's sufficient to go forward. Okay, cool. Any other topics we want to bring up?
Yeah, so I have one minor thing where I'm noticing that when there is a PR submitted, the subject line has the module name, like for example, whether it's orchestrator or gateway. So we've been using square brackets, which I don't see that a lot of other project uses actually. So have we standardized this, or is that documented somewhere? Because I suddenly started seeing that. So general practice is that whatever is in a square brackets is the very first square bracket is actually ignored by patch utility. So we should not be using square brackets if you want to keep that in the Git history. So
Gotcha.
we should drop the square brackets and then just have the module name and then colon. That's it. And that's been used in most of the open source projects that I've been involved in. So
okay. I think, do you want to write up like a short blurb on how on like how we want to do things specifically so that we can communicate with the team? And I'll send a link where I think that should go.
that's good.
Sorry to interrupt. Are we talking about commit messages here?
Yeah, subject line in of the commit.
We have some recommendations on that from the release engineering team.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have, let me get you to it here. This document's a little out of date, but the general section is still up to date on it. In particular around its kind of best practices around code review. We really strongly recommend that people follow good commit message design. And one of the things that we've recently come across is actually something called conventional commit specifications, which has a very structured subject line design.
Mm-hmm.
And we found that it's actually pretty beneficial to use that.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like every project has its structure when you are talking about the subject line at least, and then commit message also we can structure. We have some structure for commit messages on the GitHub template, but yeah, this is good. I'll look at this.
Yeah, Pravin, I'll add an action item with these two links for you. And then
I will say this, if I haven't looked too deeply into the repositories, if you are using the pre-commit hook system, so there's an application out there called pre-commit that allows you to basically run a whole bunch of checks locally before you can even do the commit. There is a pre-commit hook for conventional commits.
Okay.
And it can be customized to your very specific topics selections instead of just the more generic ones that it ships with.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Sounds good. All right. Any other topics? Cool. All right. Let's lock it in there. And yep, we have one action item for me. I'll announce that we can join the weekly meetings, or that the community can, and then one action item for Pravin to work on the commit message best practices. All right, thanks everyone. See you next week.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.